It's been a total life-changing situation in every aspect.
It was supposed to be paradise, a place where Linsey Hall's parents owned a timeshare in Mexico to get away from it all. The timeshare didn't work out, but earlier this month, Christy and Paul Akeo went to Cancun, where they were met with chaos and confusion after Mexican authorities detained them upon arrival, escorting them through the airport.
I don't understand how we're allowing these two innocent Americans to sit in a Mexican prison over a timeshare dispute.
Do you think your parents have done anything wrong?
No.
The Akeos became members of Palace Resorts in 2021, a timeshare company which has resorts in Mexico and an office in Florida. But the timeshare company didn't allow them to use their time as promised, according to the Akeos' attorney, John Manley.
As I understand it, the package they bought gave them access to weeks of travel, right? And they were booking weeks of travel, and the resort would cancel. And, you're paying all this money to vacation and then you can't use it.
So they disputed the contract and reached out to their credit card company to dispute the charges.
American Express found for the Akeos, found for Linsey's parents, and refunded them over $100,000 of wrongful charges.
The Palace company, formerly known as Palace Resort, denies the claims. On March 4th, the couple flew into Cancun from Michigan to stay at a different resort. Then they were arrested behind bars for 23 days now. The resort demanding the couple pay them more than twice what they were refunded. In a new statement, the Palace company saying its subsidiary, Palace Elite, filed a criminal complaint with Mexican authorities. Mexican prosecutors reviewed the evidence and, following failed attempts to serve notice, obtained a court-approved arrest warrant. Interpol validated the case and issued a red notice, leading to the Akeos' detention at Cancun Airport.
There was a report to Interpol that Christy and Paul were wanted. And I think they did that because they wanted to say Interpol wanted them. No, Interpol didn't want them. Palace Resorts wanted them. And they worked with the prosecutor to get them arrested.
Mexican authorities arguing that the cancellation of 13 transactions were done fraudulently by not recognizing the charges, referencing this Facebook post obtained by ABC News, where Christy tells others to report any and all credit card you use for monthly payments as lost or stolen. Mexican authorities say this post described how they committed fraud. Typically, a timeshare is a vacation property where multiple owners share the same space at different times of the year.
The promise is put out there that you can come back here every year, or you can come here one year and then trade someplace even nicer the next year. The pitch that's made to them is that one can save money by doing that, because instead of renting the vacation, they're buying it, they're owning it.
What do you make of the charges that are brought by the Quintana Roo Attorney General's office?
I think they're crazy. It's hard for us to understand because we're used to the U.S. legal system. And for what this entire situation is, which is our parents are being held over a timeshare dispute, I don't even know how to connect those or make it make sense.
I think they're being used as a pawn by Mexico. Paul and Christy really love Mexico. They love Cancun. Neither of them have college degrees. They're not professional real estate investors. Christy owned a cleaning company. Paul was enlisted in the Navy and now is the chief engineer for the Michigan State Police. So they're working people.
Manley began working with the Akeos almost a decade ago, after Linsey and hundreds of others accused Michigan State University and USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar of sexual assault.
I was the lawyer for most of the national team gymnasts and Olympic gymnasts in the Nassar case, the civil case against Michigan State, against USA Gymnastics, against the U.S. Olympic Committee, and then later against the FBI. And Linsey was a plaintiff in all those cases.
Nassar was sentenced to 60 years of federal charges of possession of child pornography and up to 300 years in Michigan courts for sexually assaulting scores of girls and women. Linsey has 2 young children now. She is allowed to call her mom for 5 minutes each day, but hasn't been able to talk to Paul.
How hard is it being a new and young mother and knowing your mom's not there to help?
Hard. I usually call her and ask for advice. So many times during the day, my daughter wants to FaceTime with her Nana and Papa and talk to them. I obviously would give anything to be able to, obviously, for them to be let go and to be brought home safely, but even to just be able to freely text my mom again or call her again.
The couple is being held at a state jail for up to 6 months. As of now, they have not been offered bail. Congressman Tom Barrett, who represents the district where the Akeos live, releasing a statement saying, "I've been in contact and will continue working with the White House, State Department, and law enforcement partners in Michigan to ensure this situation is resolved as urgently and safely as possible."
We won't quit. We don't have an option at this point, but I think there's something to say for the progress that we've made